Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yes.
You are knowing what you are wanting? Yes. It moves about a bit, doesn't it? You know that you are a focusing being, that you create through focus. Do you know that? Are you able to understand the important difference between the manifestations that you see around you and what your real creation is? Not so much. Because for most, it seems like what you are creating is the stuff around you. You want to create jobs, you want to create relationships, you want to create money, you want to create money, you want to create cars and money. You want to create that tangible evidence of life. And we get that. That's why we call this the leading edge. This manifestational evidence is manifestational evidence of your creative prowess. It's really a wonderful thing. But when the manifestation is what you're shooting for, when something that you want hasn't manifested, and so you are so aware of its absence that you are uncomfortable, now you've taken your understanding of creation and your understanding of manifestation in the wrong direction, because the manifestation is evidence of alignment, but you got to figure out how to achieve alignment regardless of manifestation. In other words, you've got to take the manifestation out of the equation for a little while, because when you're disappointed that something isn't happening as fast as you want it, or when you're disappointed that somebody else is getting something that you want and you're not getting it yet, that disappointment is your emotional guidance letting you know that your vibration is more about the absence of what you want than about the presence of what you want, so it can't come. You've got yourself in a holding pattern, you see. So when we ask you if you know the difference between creating in terms of manifestation and creating in terms of vibrational alignment, it's really a big question, because when you are creating in terms of vibrational alignment, you're creating for the emotion. Now, a lot of people, especially if they're just hearing us for the first time, would roll their eyes at such a comment and say, oh, we get it. You just want us to be happy anyway, and never mind that we're not getting what we want. Just make the best of it, even in hard times or in the absence of things wanted. And we say, yes, that's exactly what we want. But there is a payoff for you if you can care about how you feel. But even the fact that you know there's a payoff puts it in the squirrely direction all over again. Everything that you want, whether it's a material object or a relationship or a better job or more money or whatever it is, every single thing that you or anyone has ever wanted or will ever want, you want it because you believe you will feel better in the having of it, in the being of it, in the experiencing of it. It's for the feeling better. 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 So if we can convince you that there is a way to feel better before the manifestation, now the manifestations can flow easily. And many of you know that because you already have so many things going your way that you are mostly focused on the things that are going your way. And haven't you noticed that the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets? And that's why. But if you feel better because you're looking at stuff and there's that one important thing that hasn't come, if you're like most humans, you're fixated on that an inordinate amount of time, and you're slowing down the progress of your ability to create. And that's really what we're here to help you sort out a little bit here today. The best example that we have of what we just said to you was a woman in Philadelphia many years ago. And she said, Abraham, I have arthritis in my hips. I'm in pain all the time. How can I think positive thoughts when I feel bad? And we said, because you can feel pain and hope, or you can feel pain and fear. because the emotion doesn't have to follow the physical manifestation. If you can separate disappointment from not enough money, your state of being is not enough money, but your feeling isn't fear or disappointment. Your feeling is anticipation or hope. The money's a-coming. But if you let what is dictate how you feel, if you're beating the drum of it, trying to get sympathy from others about it, talking about it, worrying about it, obsessed with it, stewing over it, whatever you're focused upon is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you take your attention from it. You have to find a way of separating the reality, the manifestational reality, from the emotion. Now, why does that work? Why is there power in that? Because everything that is created has a vibrational beginning. So when you know what you don't want, you launch rockets about what you do want, and those rockets of desire that are proportionate to the power of your knowing what you don't want, in other words, to the degree that you don't want something, to the same opposite degree you do want something. So when you really want something, that rocket goes into what we are calling your vortex. It's this holding pattern. It's this vibrational place where the larger part of you, the part of you that existed before you came into this physical body, the part of you that still remains in that non-physical precisely focused perspective, that non-physical part of you remains in that vortex and holds steady to the furthermost desire that you have carved out of all that you have lived. It's like a placeholder. It's like the furthest, most leading edge placeholder, vibrational placeholder of that which you have become, that which you have become, that which the larger part of you has become, therefore that which you have vibrationally become, but that which you have yet to manifestationally become. You get it? That which you have yet to manifestationally become. Now the gap between vibrationally becoming it and manifestationally becoming it, that gap has only to do with how long it takes you to get happy in the absence of the manifestation. In other words, if you can follow the joy, in optimism, you'll go fast. In pessimism, you'll go slowly. In fear, you don't move at all. In anger, you slow yourself way, 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 way down. In optimism, faster. In hopefulness, pretty fast. In believing, so very fast. In knowing, you're right there, you're right there, you're right there, you're right there, you're right there. So the sales job that we're doing as we're playing with you here, especially in the beginning of this day, there are a few things that we really want you to accept from us. And we will do our very best to convince you. And usually we are quite convincing because our knowing is strong. You are vibrational beings. Most of you don't know it. You are told about your vibration. It's indicated to you by emotion. Because the larger part of you, you can never get away from. The larger part of you, you're not dead or alive. You are alive and alive. The larger part of you is always offering this vibration. So there's always a signal that's being offered. And you, as you are focused and conscious, you are offering a vibrational signal as well. So there is always this relationship between the two vibrational aspects of you, which are indicated by your emotions. The better you feel, the more aligned you are with who you are and all that you have become. The worse you feel, the more out of alignment you are with who you are and who you have become. And that really is all you need to know. Now we get it that you get it. And you get it that we get it that you get it. In other words, we all get it that we all get it. In other words, you get it. We know that you get it. But practicing it is something else altogether, isn't it? Practicing it is something else altogether. And do you know why it's hard for you to practice this, to put it into action? Is because you have become one of many who de-emphasizes your emotions. You don't let your emotions count for much. You don't realize that anger really matters because it's an indication of vibration. When you are in your vehicle driving down your freeway and you're steering and you get off onto those bumps on the side of the road. Esther plays with Jerry with the bumps on a pretty regular basis. It always gets his attention. No wise person would ignore those bumps. In other words, when you're on the bumps, you're close to the bar pit. When you're on the bumps, you're either veering into the oncoming traffic or veering over into another lane. Those bumps are indicators to let you know you're not doing with this vehicle what you mean to do with this vehicle. So when you feel the bumps of negative emotion, it's an indicator to do something. But so often you don't, because it's entertaining to complain. Or because you're making a damn good point that someone needs to get. You're mad as hell and you're not going to take it anymore, and it's high time that someone else feels as bad about this as you do. There are all kinds of reasons, but mostly it's because you don't realize what's going on. You don't realize that negative emotion indicates resistance in your vibration, and resistance in your vibration means you're slowing down your vibration, and slowing down your vibration means you're not up to speed with who you are, and not being up to speed with who you are prevents you from being who you are, for feeling who you are, from manifesting who you are. But most of all, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to not be who you are. Why you put up with that defies the logic of source energy, we want to tell you. No one here can figure out why any of you would be willing to complain rather than praise when praise feels so much better. Why you would be willing to hate rather than love when love feels so much better. Why you would be willing to deprive yourself of well-being, of vitality, of clarity, of wellness, when wellness and clarity and vitality feel so wonderful. And we know you do it because you got a habit of doing it, and it's hard to break habits. You do it because law of attraction enables you. Now, we love law of attraction. Law of attraction makes the world go round. Law of attraction is what causes those of the same vibrational frequency to come together. Law of attraction is the most powerful manager ever imagined. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. Law of attraction is the bomb. Law of attraction is everything. Law of attraction is everything. But law of attraction will enable you to keep a negative thing going, because if you're thinking a negative thought, law of attraction says, here's another one. And as you add that one, law of attraction says, and more and more and more and more and more and more and more, because law of attraction does not focus you. Law of attraction responds to your focus. It's up to you to focus. It's up to you to decide. It's up to you to be determined. It's up to you to make a decision. It's up to you. It's up to you to focus yourself into the alignment with that which you are. Now, we're not trying to talk you into being more than you are. We're wanting you to get up to speed with who you are, because we know that every little bit of negative emotion that you feel ever is for one reason only. Who you really are, because of all that you've lived, is vibrating at a higher frequency than you are allowing yourself to vibrate at right here, this red hot minute.